my $3 and something eBay radio. Let's take our official box opening tool and see if it made it in one piece. I can tell that it doesn't feel to be packed the best, but that's nothing new with eBay. And we have these air pocket things, which I really don't care for. And some crumpled up newspaper. At least they made some effort. This is better than some of the packing jobs I've gotten. We get this highly protective bubble wrap off of here. We'll see what we get. This is a General Electric dual speaker, long range AM tube radio from probably about '66. The cabinet looks to be in decent shape. The dial lens is kind of cloudy. I hope we can clean that up. A lot of times people will try to clean these with something you don't need to be cleaning this stuff with, and it'll turn the lens cloudy, and once that happens, that's pretty much the end of it. This is a 6-tube radio, which means it has an RF amplifier stage for greater sensitivity. You know, we need greater sensitivity with our AM radios so we can pull in the AM station from 90 miles away that's running the same talk programming that the station 10 miles away is running. So let's get it in here to the bench and plug it in and see what happens. Bad filter capacitor. No stations under the hum. Alright, let's open it up and see what we can do. Here's the chassis, 6-tube chassis with a tuned RF stage and a nice long ferrite rod antenna, so this should be a very sensitive radio once it's working right. Now this doodad here, this big multi-section cap is our culprit, and it's dated 1966, which is about what I thought it was. Now the biggest thing I'm worried about with these radios and with this radio and what plagues a lot of GEs is silver mica disease in the IF transformers. That can be fixed, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt, and I won't be a bit surprised if after I change the filter cap in this, that if we don't have that with this radio. Now, 66 was a transition year. That's when things was really starting to heavily shift to solid state, and you don't see too many tube radios that late in the game that are AM only and have a tuned RF stage. I know GE used this same cabinet with 3 different versions, the 5-tube version, the 6-tube long-range version, and a solid-state version. And there was also a clock version of this radio that had the clock in the center and the speakers on each side of the clock. Again, the cabinet was used, you know, with a 5-tube, a 6-tube, and a solid-state version. And come to think of it, this cabinet was even used with an AM-FM hybrid version that had a solid-state front end, FM front end, and the rest were tubes. Now, those sets work good when they're working right, but they're a royal pain in the butt to work on. And just about all of them have bad IF transformers by now. Either silver mica disease or the capacitors inside the IF transformers have drifted in value and it's thrown the alignment way off. And like most GE radios from this time period, it can't be a simple, straightforward process to get the chassis out. And this is what you have to do to remove this chassis. First, you pull the knobs off, and you might need the vice grips to do that. And then you'll notice under the bottom of the case here, there are 3 slots, and you'll need to carefully unclip this dial lens, and then you carefully turn the dial pointer to where it can slide out the hole here on the scale. Here's the plastic dial lens. Unfortunately, 2 of the clips broke during the process of removing it. That's what happens when you're dealing with 50-plus-year-old plastic that nobody envisioned would even be around in 50 years. So when we put this back together, I'll have to put a slight bit of glue on it just to hold it in there. I don't want to make it too permanent, because if this radio ever has to be serviced again, we need to make it easier to get it apart. There's our dial pointer twisted. Now let's see what we have to do to get the board to slide out. Alright, I see 1/4 inch screw holding the antenna bracket to the cabinet, and the output transformers bolted to the bottom of the cabinet, so let's get those items loose. Okay, we have the transformer and the antenna bracket dismounted, but it looks like a little plastic retainer clip down there. GE was all about saving money, and if they could save 1/2 cent on the production of a radio, then that's what they did. So instead of using screws, they used plastic clips. And another plastic clip on this side. Decent performing radio, but very cheaply made. And these clips are not easy to pull back on. They'll probably break if I try too hard. Alright, there it is. So you pull the knobs off, remove the plastic dial lens, turn the dial pointer to where it can pull back through the cabinet, and then you release the two, unbolt the antenna bracket, unbolt the audio output transformer, release the 2 plastic clips, and the chassis slides back. So let's change the filter capacitor and then get ready to hear the thunderstorm effect from the likely bad IF transformers. Alright, so we need 100 and a 50, both at 150 volts. And yeah, these GI capacitors have a high failure rate.
I saw our pitchers
well,
go
so
along
far, so
with
good.
Mike Trout, and of course they need to get a new stadium as well. Okay, so Hinch says he went by feel. There's been questions
on Election Day 2020, like reducing gun violence.
Right now, and make sure that you think about that person and put them on our website so we can be a blessing to somebody. You got it?
Well, the weak station's coming in.
Do a lesson with Jonathan Nelson with Jesus, I Love You.
To get in.
There's a station about 90 miles away, so the...
Lift yourself right out of obedience. No question. I mean, you witnessed it.
There's something else weak. So despite all the noise, the interference, I can tell that thing's got pretty good sensitivity. Now we just let it play for a while and see if the IF transformer starts showing out. I played it a little while and no trouble from the IF transformers so far, but that could change at any given time. However, we're just going to let it ride until it happens. I'm not going to fix something that's not broken. This capacitor here is the crossover capacitor that filters out the bass, allowing only the higher frequencies to make their way to the second speaker, and as I expected, it's wide open. And this radio does have a little bit of a muffled sound, so didn't have any 10 microfarad bipolar capacitors, so I just made one by putting 2 22s in series with the negative ends tied together, mounted them on this terminal strip, and we'll just mount this to where the existing capacitor was. Once again, you can see how much smaller capacitors have gotten over the decades. Alright, we have it somewhat back together and underlight a flashlight because the fluorescent light is so noisy that it's just causing too much interference. There's GSM coming in really well.
Part of the new bar menu at Favorites. Thanks again to Andrew.
Year, and that was a nasty night. Nasty night. The end result.
Dealer now for the best deals.
The only company with a documented record of on-air radio.
The fall, the last tournament of the fall.
About 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sharp's coming back, Pickering.
Holden? Your haircut that you consider.
It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing. Erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-854-1055. 800-854-1055. 800-854-1055.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which
Oh,
one
yes,
should you
I need
take?
my
Fish oil
omega-3s.
or krill oil. Scientists have
My
debated
light
this
is
for
burned
years.
out.
Luckily,
Nice.
there's a new solution to satisfy
Am I gonna be
everyone.
forced
It's
to
called
tune this
Krill
thing
Omega
totally in the
50+.
dark?
It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote
Hold
the
that
health
thought.
of your heart
Hold on.
and
We're
your
gonna have to do
arteries.
something
And
else
if
here.
that wasn't enough,
Shut up.
it's
Well, this should solve our interference problem, and maybe now you can see me tuning the radio. Alright, that's a little better. Now all I got to do is find some retainer clips to hold these knobs. One of them fell off while I was taking it off and bounced somewhere. As usual, when that happens, I'm having problems finding it. I find all the garbage, but I can't find the one little piece I need, and one of them I think was already missing. Alright, let's plug it in again and try this. And this tuning knob is very stiff, just like it is on the similar GE clock radio that's by my bed, and just like on several other GEs that I've seen.
And he's lambasted all of this at Soros-funded EU and UN scam.
Less time than you spend trying paleo diet. Resist the carbs. Blue brownies. No bread.
Before you go, I know you're in a hurry. You're always in a hurry.
And tasteless. It just comes up. Pays and even can't find.
Harvest Bank has an amazing.
This thing's pulling in all sorts of stations. Probably gets better the later it gets.
Go to the region. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees may apply.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with former Bulldog quarterback. It was played the raver use it at
Alright, come back to me. But yeah, that's about the only reason I have for listening to AM radio anymore. I have not touched the alignment on this. It seems to be pretty well spot on. However, I've got a 6-tube clock radio version buried here somewhere that I know has silver mica disease of the IF transformers. I'll get a Sam's Photo Fact for that set, and we'll dig it out one day and work on it.
In northern Kentucky because of a disabled vehicle on the northbound side of the Brent Spence Bridge. It's a bridge connecting Covington with Cincinnati, and it is backed up to Fort Mitchell tonight. It's been
probably WLW.
Still northbound 75 through northern Kentucky. You want to avoid that tonight because of a broken down vehicle on the bridge.
And it's coming in.
Latest forecast from the Advanced Dentistry Weather Center. Removing your fear of seeing the dentist with the help of IV sedation.
Pretty close to 700.
Gradual clearing by daybreak, a morning low of 29. On your Friday, sunny, a high of just 48. At night, clear, and my low down to 31. From your severe weather station on 9 First Warning, Chief Meteorologist Steve Rollins. News Radio 700 WLW.
I was right.
It continues until 2 in the morning. Freeze warning continues
including transportation and
Along party lines, Democrat Hank Johnson argues the president's actions can't be ignored.
With our vote today, it serves as a check on it.
All right, that station's WSB out of Atlanta. That always comes in good.
To pay for customer trips to voting locations. Bill Hanna with Tarrant County says all you have to do is show your vote. A North Texas contractor is being
WBAP.
Be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/.
I heard you the first time.
This is Attorney Bart Kelly of Alvin Kelly and Demarest. Better
News, sports, and podcasts with you on the go? Download the free Radio.com app today on your phone or connected device. Or listen on your
I'm really not old enough to remember the days of when you could tune across the AM band at night and hear music station after music station. I seem to remember WLS running a music format, and besides WSM, they were the last big station to run a music format.
First News, I'm Don Ames on your
But pretty much now it's
at Alabama. It's
talk station after talk station.
Would have liked for him to.
So important.
I'll never get over the love you showered on me from above. It's not ordinary, the change you have made.
To apply to your job.
Over-the-counter prescription drug. Unfortunately, the number of motorists.
There's our WNBN, but it's so distorted and crappy sounding you can't really stand to listen to it.
Still, had a chance to win it.
From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental.
I still can't find my freaking knob retainers that fell off, so we're just going to have to be careful with this for now. Other than that, that completes the repair on the 1966 General Electric AM tube radio. And I'm not going to worry about the IF transformers until I need to worry about them. They could go for another 50 years and not develop problems, or they could develop problems the next time I turn it on. So, there you go. Well, I found my missing knob retainer, and the other one is still on the shaft here. Okay, there it is, complete with new dial light.